Hey folks, so you've got some eczema, you've got some dermatitis, maybe you've got some psoriasis. You've been to see your doctor, you've lost faith pretty much in that whole process, and you've jumped online to find out what those guys are saying, and you come across fasting. Inevitably you come across fasting. You know, years ago, the first video that I came across that really changed my perception of what was possible. You know, you get those moments that just really change your entire perception of what is possible, was when I watched a video by Dan the Man, Dan the Life Regenerator. I can't say that I still watch his videos or really follow what he's up to now, but back in the day he was making videos very simply, living out of an RV with a juicer and some patio furniture, and I caught him in the midst of a 40-day water fast, and it just blew me away. I didn't think that was A, even possible, B, healthy. I didn't understand anything about fasting and really what he was trying to achieve. Now, the basic premise of fasting is that when you get out of the way of the body digestively, you allow the body space and time to do some healing, to do some really deep healing, and your body brings up stuff that it probably hasn't brought up in many, many years. And this is what happens when you remove the stress of just plying it with food over and over again. A lot of people equate the digestive system to like another brain, another part of the body, and just in the same way that when our brain gets overloaded, we can hardly think, we can just not really function properly. Exactly the same, and perhaps even to a greater extent, the gut. When it's crowded, when it's clogged, when it's just being plied with work the whole time without giving any rest, eventually it's not functioning properly anymore. Fasting isn't a new topic for this channel. If you look back at the old videos, I touch on it quite a lot. So a lot of you are quite interested to find that I don't recommend fasting. I don't recommend doing calorie restriction of any kind. I recommend eating a healthy number of calories on a daily basis to maintain the trust in the body, to maintain consistency, which I believe the body responds to best. Doing the fast itself is not really hard. Once you get into the first day or two, you get a bit of ketosis kicking in. It's not really hard to continue the fast. The challenge is always in the refeeding stage afterwards, and doing it in such a way that you don't adversely affect the relationship that you have with your body, the trust, the intrinsic trust that your body has. Both during fasts and in between, my brain was just fixated on food and what I should be doing with food. And it's such a mental burden, especially having to live with eczema in the first place, worrying about all of that stuff. I was constantly either beating myself up for not being perfect with my food, or trying to summon up the mental strength to get through the next fast. I don't mean to cast shade over the topic of fasting, because I do believe it has its time and place, but I only made my peace with the plant-based lifestyle when I was accepting of a few things. I was accepting of the fact that I don't have the willpower to eat perfectly the whole time. And I accepted the fact that my skin is doing this right now. I accepted detoxification. I accepted the fact that my body is sick inside, and that the symptoms I was seeing on my skin, on my arms, my legs, my face was a good thing. What then followed was an honest look at the foods that I could eat consistently and the lifestyle things that I could do consistently over time. So I was reading a lot online about people healing from things like cancer and heart disease and diabetes, and I started to not really compartmentalize disease anymore. I just started to think about the body holistically, creating health, or allowing health back in, allowing health back into the body by just obeying the rules of nature. It truly became a lifestyle for me. I finally achieved some consistency. My body was starting to trust me again. You know, I felt like my body was saying, finally, this idiot is starting to give us a supply of regular fuel so that we can do what we need to do. You know, a watched pot never boils, so just set it, forget it, dial it in, and then go ahead and get on with your life. And I promise you, healing will be bubbling away nicely in the background.